Y'all, the internet is melting. Terence Crawford, fresh off his undefeated reign in the ring, just grabbed a mic and did something no one expected. Not a left hook, not a title challenge, but a full-on lyrical ambush aimed straight at Drake, and he did it while channeling Kendrick Lamar's voice, cadence, and rage. Witnesses say it was like hearing Control 2.0, except this time the bars came from a boxer, not a Compton king. And what's worse, he didn't hold back. He name-dropped the boy. He mimicked his flow. He even threw in alleged private voice notes Drake sent to fight promoters about not liking Crawford's energy. Drake, silent. Kendrick, allegedly watching from a burner account. Social media, in flames, and fans are split, some screaming. Crawford got next in rap, others saying he's crossing a line no athlete should. But one thing's for sure, this ain't just beef. This is war. And if what Crawford's next move is what we think it is, Drake might just be cornered like never before. Stay tuned, because this story is about to explode. This ain't just a boxing story. This ain't just a rap beef. This is what happens when two worlds collide, when a world champion starts flexing lyrical muscle, and the biggest rapper in the world ain't ready for the punchline or the uppercut. But first, let's rewind. Terence "Bud" Crawford, undisputed, unbreakable, known for moving in silence and letting his fists do the talking. But deep in the shadows of his pristine record, there's always been something different about Bud. Something more cerebral, more poetic. His fans always said he fights like a chess player with a poet's brain. And now, that brain has finally turned to bars. But why Drake? Why now? And how the hell did Kendrick Lamar's voice get pulled into this crossfire? It starts years ago, when Crawford sat ringside at a Drake concert in Vegas. The cameras caught the moment. Drake even gave him a shout-out. Smiles on the surface. But apparently, something happened backstage. Sources close to Crawford's circle say Drake was cold with him. Barely spoke. No selfie, no dap. Just a nod. But what really set Bud off? One of Drake's entourage allegedly said, "Ain't no real bars in boxing." That line, just a quick, cocky remark, reportedly sat heavy with Crawford. He never addressed it publicly. Until now, fast forward to 2023. Kendrick versus Drake ignites. Like that drops, the internet goes wild. Every artist picks a side, even quietly. Crawford, silent. But behind the scenes, people noticed something strange. Crawford started following Kendrick-only playlists on Spotify. He even liked a post that said, "The only man to body Drake might be the one who never rapped." Yet, the clues were there. Then came the turning point. During an interview with ESPN late last year, when asked about his pre-fight music, Crawford smirked and said, "I've been listening to a lot of Kendrick lately. Helps me stay sharp. I like precision." Now, at the time, no one thought to. Deep about that. But industry insiders claim that Crawford was already penning rhymes, building what he called his lyrical form of revenge. He allegedly told a friend in Omaha, "You can hurt a man's pride without ever touching his face." And then, Drake dropped a bar on a leaked, unreleased track. Something fans noticed right away. Boxers thinking they Kendrick, but ain't. Got no verse? Better fight the silence before the mic gets worse. Wait, what? Fans went crazy dissecting it. Was that about Crawford? Drake never confirmed. But Crawford allegedly took it personal. Real personal. Next thing you know, Kendrick drops "Not Like Us," and the entire hip-hop world turns upside down, and according to insiders, that was the spark. Crawford heard "Not Like Us" in his gym and started shadowboxing to it. He said, "I feel this in my soul. I could say what Kendrick ain't said yet, and say it for both of us." an alleged member of Crawford's training camp. That as when he began plotting his biggest round yet, not in the ring, but in the booth. And here's where it gets crazy. Crawford didn't just decide to write a diss. He went deep. He hired a vocal mimicry coach, reportedly the same one who worked with actors in Straight Outta Compton. He studied Kendrick's tone, inflection, rhyme schemes. He practiced breathing like him. Sources even say Crawford spent 3 weeks in complete silence, only writing and rehearsing in Kendrick's cadence. This wasn't just a clapback. This was a spiritual possession. Crawford didn't want to be a rapper. He wanted to become the voice Drake fears most. And when you realize that, it makes what's coming next all the more terrifying. Because Johnny, in the next section, we're diving into the night it all exploded. The club, the mic, a crowd. Crawford stepped on stage, told the DJ to run the silence, and shocked everyone with a full-blown diss track using Kendrick Lamar's voice. The energy, combustible. The bars, lethal. The reaction, insane. It was supposed to be a quiet night in Atlanta. Just another private industry party at a low-key upscale lounge called Velvet Room 6. Invite tonely. No cameras. Just drinks, influencers, producers, and a few unannounced Alistairs tucked in the shadows. But then, boom, the DJ stops the music. Lights flicker. A voice whispers through the speakers. This one's for the boy who mistook the silence for weakness. The room froze. People looked around. A few thought it was a Kendrick snippet, until someone shouted, "Wait, is that Terence Crawford?" And it was, standing dead center in a spotlight. Terence Crawford, dressed in black hoodie, locked up to the mic, no security, no entourage, straight war in his eyes. And when he opened his mouth, the voice that came out wasn't even his. It was Kendrick's cadence, Kendrick's tone, Kendrick's control. The entire lounge gasped. It was eerie. Goosebumps, silence. And then the beat dropped. A minimalist, soul-slicing instrumental. Something that sounded like an unreleased Alchemist beat sprinkled with West Coast tension. Then the bars came. You dropped a verse about fighters, but couldn't last a round. I've been silent. But silence built a burial ground. Say you, the boy. Then I'm the man that taught discipline. You only throw punches on Twitter? I'm different, fam. Woohoo. People screamed. Phones came out. Rules got broken. Someone in the back started recording. That clip? It's already viral. And then Crawford kept going, mimicking Kendrick's aggressive switch-up. He sped up. Aubrey in his villa, ducking verses like jabs. I've been training with spirits. You just flex for the gram. You say you run rap. But you ain't passed the torch. Kendrick lit the flame. I'm just here to scorch. The room exploded. Bartenders stopped serving. Even the DJ covered his mouth in disbelief. And right when people thought it was just a one-time freestyle diss, Crawford leaned in and dropped a BOMB. This ain't freestyle. This track is live from the vault. It's called Sparring with the Sixth God, and it's only part 1. What? Fans in the room started freaking out. A bartender leaked this quote. He didn't just perform a song. He brought war. That was a ritual. And then the lights cut out. Moments later, Crawford was gone. No pictures, no media. Just a single USB left on the DJ booth labeled K.X. Bud, unofficial. Round 1. You heard that right. Insiders believe Crawford recorded an entire unofficial Kendrick-style diss EP aimed at Drake, and gets deeper. That same night, an anonymous SoundCloud link appeared online, only accessible for 2 hours, where fans caught the full-length studio version of the diss. And Johnny. The lyrics were INSANE. 6 p.m. in Toronto. I was sparring in the basement. You rapped from your mansion. I bled through the pavement. And then the bar that broke Twitter. Your verses ain't healing. They just sound like captions. I've seen better metaphors from middleweight matches. Yikes. Twitter went nuts. Instagram bloggers reposted clips. Even Reddit had a full thread titled, "Did Terence Crawford just Kendrick Drake harder than Kendrick?" But the story doesn't end there, because the first twist. Apparently, Kendrick knew this was coming. According to a leaked text between DJ Dahi and a Top Dog Entertainment producer. The message read, "Bud sent K his demo months ago. K gave the nod, told him, the mic's yours. Handle it like a soldier." Yup, Crawford didn't just do this for clout. He did it with Kendrick's blessing. Let that sink in. This wasn't just a boxer mocking a rapper. This was a cold, calculated chess move from a man who studied his enemy and got co-signed by the one person Drake has been in lyrical battle with all year. And the next twist. Sources say Drake was watching a live stream of the Velvet Room party from his Toronto mansion. He was reportedly on a FaceTime call with someone in the club, and he heard the entire thing. Word is, he didn't say a word. Just stood up and left the room. No response. No text. Nothing. That same night, his team started scrubbing his Twitter, deleting old boxing jokes, removing 6 God merch links. It's like Crawford spooked. Him silent. But the war has only just started. Because in the next part, Donnie, you won't believe who just got dragged into this. Jay-Z, ESPN, and even the UFC president. Crawford's move didn't just shake Drake. It shook the entire entertainment world. And one post, just one, from a mystery Kendrick burner account, might have just added fuel to a fire no one can control 2 hours. That's all it took for the entire music and sports world to flip upside down. Once that SoundCloud link dropped. Once the leaked video from Velvet Room went viral. It was game on, but what really sent the internet into meltdown? A tweet from an account named @SteppedOnButterfly with 0 followers, no profile pic, and just one post. Bud did what I couldn't. The gloves were never off. He just wore M louder. K fans lost their minds. Kendrick on a burner. The writing style, unmistakably him. The references, Teed fans recognized them instantly. The gloves were never off. That's a callback to a line Kendrick used in his leaked track from 2017, and wore M louder. That's what Terence said in an interview after beating Spence Jr. I just wore the pain louder than he did. This wasn't a coincidence. This was a cosign, and suddenly, wasn't just Crawford versus Drake. It was Kendrick and Crawford versus the industry. And then came the celebrity responses. Joe Ton jumped on his podcast in real time yelling, "Drake ain't got no escape. Hatch this time." This man just got dismantled by a welterweight with Kendrick's soul. Charlemagne Thaw, God said, "This ain't beef no more. This is a spiritual war. Drake better bring incense and a ghostwriter." Gervonta Davis, Crawford's boxing rival, even tweeted, "I hate Bud, but that was fire. He just dropped an uppercut in rhyme form." But WAITIT gets deeper. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith dedicated a full 3-minute rant live on air. Drake, you may have bars, sir, but what we saw last night wasn't just a lyrical exhibition. That was Terence Crawford telling the world, "I don't just beat people in the ring, I end legacies." And damn it, that's what it looked like. Bro, the sports world was eating this up like it was the Super Bowl and the Grammys combined. And then, UFC President Dana White threw gasoline on the flames. He reposted the Crawford diss and captioned, "If Drake wants to respond, I'll book Bud versus Aubrey in the octagon. Mike in one corner, gloves in the other. Let's see who survives." But the biggest shock of the night, Joyz. Ye Hav. He posted a photo on Instagram, rare as hell, of a boxing glove placed on a notepad with the caption, "Poetry is when the hands rest, but the truth still punches." That's when people knew this wasn't a stunt. This wasn't a PR game. This was artistic revolution. But while the world debated, Drake was silent. No tweet, no post, no response until a cryptic story appeared on his IG black screen. White text, "Fakers stay inspired by real ones." But don't forget who wrote the chapter. 6. That's it. A subtle jab. But for fans, that wasn't enough. In fact, it made things worse because Kendrick's fans and Crawford's fans began dragging Drake hard. Twitter threads like, "Drake just got bodied by a boxer using another man's voice. This is historic." Aubrey Bendogin fades in rap. And now, in sports too. Kendrick said nothing, but everything was said. Crawford a whole movement now. And then, the leak came. A private group chat leak allegedly from one of Drake's inner circle. Screenshots showed a convo between 3 names with one labeled Uvo Mark. The message read, "We told him not to ignore it." Now, Bud's got another one dropping this week, and it's worse than the first. He name drops Adamas. W-A-I-T. What? He's gonna bring Drake's son into this. According to alleged insiders, the next diss titled Father Figure Freestyle is even more disrespectful, blending Kendrick's fear style with Crawford's real-life fatherhood story, flipping it on Drake. "You post your boy. For streams, I raised mine in silence. We both got sons, but one don't need a stylist. Rue." And if that wasn't already insane enough, guess who reportedly wants to jump on the remix of Sparring with the Sixth God? J. Cole. Yes, Cole. A tweet from an insider at Dreamville Studios claimed. Cole's mad he sat quiet during the Kendrick-Drake war, said Bud's track was the realest response so far. He's ready. This is insanity. And just when you think this is as crazy as it can get, trust me, Johnny, the final twist is coming. Because next up, Drake's alleged lawyer just filed a cease and desist, and the studio Crawford used, tied to a major label connected to Kendrick's old publishing deal. There may be legal consequences. Drake might be trying to block the next track. And Crawford just tweeted, "Let's take it to court, then the booth." Same energy. BRO. The second Terence Crawford's Kendrick voice diss dropped. Twitter turned into a UFC cage match. Sparring with the Sixth God hit trending globally within 45 minutes. Over 7 million tweets in the first 12 hours, and the reactions. It's absolute chaos. Let's start with the fans, because they're tearing each other apart. Crawford just made history. First athlete to body a rapper with lyrical precision. Put respect on his pen. This man really used another grown man's flow. This ain't hip-hop, it's cosplay. Bro, that wasn't cosplay. That was possession. You heard the pain in that track. Bud been waiting for this? Drake can't even fight back. He got dissed by Kendrick twice without Kendrick even saying a word. Some users even started a fake betting pool. $50 says. Drake drops a singing diss and calls it Therapy Session 9 by next Friday. But the real mayhem? It came from celebrity reactions. Celebrity CHOS Rick Ross jumped in fast. POSTING, an Instagram story with the caption, "Crawford out-rapped half these boys on day one. Don't let the gloves fool you." He got writers in the gym. Then, Meek Mill dropped this. "Man, I've been told y'all about the boy." Bud did what needed to be done. And guess who else threw his hat in the ring? Pusha T, he tweeted. Drake ducked a boxer. See why he ain't respond to a pharmacist? Oh my God. Even 50 Cent got petty and reposted a meme showing Crawford in a boxing ring holding up a gold mic like a championship belt. Caption: Crawford won, Champagne 0. Somebody pour that boy some courage. But wait. I hopped on IG Live and said, I'm telling y'all, this ain't about rap or boxing anymore. This is about what happens when folks who've never been handed nothing take the mic. Bud ain't got no deal. He ain't chasing charts. That's why. It hit different. And then, out of nowhere, Azealia Banks decided to stir the pot hard, tweeting, imagine spending 20 years making radio hits just to get ended by a dude whose day job is punching faces. Drake needs to call Ghostface and a ghostwriter. Even Normani. Yes, Normani tweeted, not the voice of Kendrick haunting the boy, I need a drink. Industry REACTO is within 24 hours. The waves hit major platforms. Billboard ran the headline. Terence Crawford's diss shakes hip-hop. First athlete to make a chart-worthy diss track. Hot New Hip Hop said, did Crawford just embarrass Drake better than Kendrick did? Rolling Stone asked, where does this leave Drake now? But the wildest report came from the Shade Room, leaking a claim that OVO reps contacted streaming platforms to flag the song as impersonation content. For Kendrick's voice. Wait, what? Apparently, Drake's camp is trying to shut the song down across all DSPs, even though it's not Kendrick and it's not illegal. That's when things hit peak insanity. Terence Crawford saw that report and immediately tweeted, when they scared of your voice, they start censoring echoes. I ain't Kendrick, but this still coming from the soul. Fans lost it. And with Kendrick still silent, the narrative began to shift. This ain't a diss track. It's a passing of the torch. Drake can't beat Kendrick. He can't beat Bud. Who's left? Ice Spice. Division. Everywhere at this point. Sides are being drawn across the board. Hip-hop fans split between respecting Bud's artistic delivery and calling it Kendrick cosplay. Boxing fans gassed up. They're already begging Bud to drop a mixtape called Jabs and Bars Volume .1. Drake fans nervous, holding on to hope, praying for a comeback. Kendrick fans celebrating in silence, posting butterfly emojis everywhere like a secret language. Celebs jumping on bandwagons or ducking for safety. And don't forget, we still haven't heard Drake's full response, which only adds more pressure. Just when you thought it couldn't escalate anymore, the biggest cliffhanger of the year just dropped. According to DJ Academics, who went live with exclusive insider audio, he claims Drake has recorded a Scorpion-level diss track, and he's debating whether to drop it on the same day as Crawford's rumored second song. A diss-off, a release war. 2 drops. Same day, 1 champion. The culture is not ready, and if you think this is over, bruh, it's just getting started. Because in the next section, we're dropping the final twist and cliffhanger, 700 words, and trust me, it involves a leaked text from Kendrick himself, a call from Nike HQ, and a secret bet cipher lineup that might shake the whole game up. Silence. That's all Kendrick gave. No video, no live stream. Just one cryptic like on an old post from 2015. The caption, Riao G's move in peace and pieces. People knew he's watching. But what nobody expected was what leaked next. Screenshot of a private message from Kendrick Lamar, allegedly sent to someone in Bud's circle, and it's already being labeled the K-Dot confirmation. The message reads, tell Bud he didn't borrow my voice. He borrowed the burden, and now it's his to carry. K, the burden. Fans lost IT. Kendrick just passed the torch through a diss track proxy. Bro, this is cinematic. Bud ain't imitating, he's activating. And then, a nuclear bomb dropped. Leaked footage from Bet headquarters. A backstage rehearsal schedule, top of the list. 2025 BET Hip Hop Awards Cypher lineup. Kendrick Lamar, TBCJ. Cole confirmed, Terence Crawford confirmed. J-Rocker Das Pichel unannounced guest, Brewu. Bud is in the cypher. And Kendrick might be too. Twitter immediately erupted. We're about to witness the rap baptism of a champion. Drake better start canceling interviews and booking flights to Japan. And then came the straw that might break everything. Nike just issued a formal statement confirming they're in talks with Terence Crawford for a multi-million-dollar campaign around a new slogan, "No excuses, just execution." Why is that crazy? Because that was Drake's OWN quote in a 2017 interview with LeBron James. Nike just reclaimed it and handed it to Bud. This ain't a diss track anymore. This is brand warfare. This is Drake's influence bleeding out in real time. Even Spotify data analysts started reporting that Kendrick's catalog saw a 400% spike in streams directly traced from Crawford's diss drop. People were rediscovering his music. Bud's track made Kendrick go viral again. And as the world watches, Drake's team is now reportedly considering delaying his new album again. The rumored title, Unbothered, but the vibes, shook, panicked, cornered. And here's the real kicker. Crawford just posted a grainy black and white teaser video with no sound. Just a slow zoom on a boxing ring covered in rose petals. Caption, next round. 7/30ths, The Garden. No hooks, just truth. Brew, 7/30ths. Is he performing live at Madison Square Garden? Is it a rap show, a fight, a listening party? Nobody knows, but the suspense. Unreal, CLIFA change. Where does that leave us? Kendrick's ghost is whispering through Bud Cole might jump in the ring. Drake is backed into a corner, and so far, not swinging. The industry is choosing sides. Fans are foaming at the mouth, and Crawford. He ain't done, because if the father figure freestyle really name drops Adonis and leaks like fans believe, the entire culture is going to explode. We still haven't seen the unannounced guest on that BET Cypher list. And word on the street, it ain't just another rapper. It might be someone Drake thought was on his side. Until now, who is it? What will Drake say next? Will Kendrick break his silence? All we know is the stage is set. The punches are getting personal, and the culture, hanging on every syllable. And now, the entire world is watching. A world champion with a mic, a global superstar. With his back against the ropes, a silent legend whose influence haunts every bar. What started as a surprise diss turned into a movement. Terence Crawford didn't just enter the conversation. He grabbed the mic and redefined it. But the question is, what happens next? Will Drake finally respond with a track of his own, or will he stay silent, letting the weight of two cultural juggernauts corner him even further? Will Kendrick step out of the shadows and speak for himself, or has he already said all he needs to say through someone else's voice? And what about the BET Cypher? Is that where the next war begins? We want to hear from you. Do you think Terence Crawford went too far? Was this performance just a diss, or was it a declaration? And most importantly, if Drake responds, do you think he can survive what comes next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Every theory, every opinion, every side counts. Right now. This isn't just celebrity drama anymore. This is culture on fire. If you're ready for the next drop, you know it's coming. Make sure you like this video, subscribe for exclusive leaks and updates. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next explosion, because, trust us, this story ain't even close to over. Next round lands soon. And when it does, everything will change. Stay tuned.